Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A man has been arrested tied to a stabbing at a bar in Warroad over the weekend.
The court documents show police believe 35-year-old Anthony Gant stabbed a person in their ribs inside the Izzy's Lounge and Bar. He faces a charge of first-degree assault causing great bodily harm. His initial appearance in court scheduled for next week. Also, an update to a story we first told you about at 9. Roads are now back open after a car fire right off I-29 in Fargo. This started around 8 at the exit ramp for 38th Street South, just north of West Acres. No word on any injuries or what caused that fire.
Also new tonight at 10, a 21-year-old man was rescued by first responders after being trapped in a grain bin today in Colgate. The sheriff says because of the training and specialized equipment, the fire departments were successful in rescuing that trapped man. He was transported to Stanford Hospital in Fargo with what appear to be non-life-threatening injuries. A Fargo mom is speaking out tonight. She's concerned about the safety of a local park.
She says violence has increased, and she's worried not only for her kids, but others visiting the park as well. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor explains what she'd like to see done about the issue.
It may be covered in snow now, but just a couple of weeks ago, families still had time to spend it at Brunsdale Park on 27th Avenue South before the wintry weather rolled in. But parents in the neighborhood say the community playground, also known as Spider Park, has become a big safety concern, like ongoing fights and violence. Sarah Weiser, who lives nearby, says her 9-year-old son has even fallen victim to some of the violence, including getting jumped by a few kids.
Kicked him, stomped on his head. These kids took money from him. The next thing that happened was his bike got stolen while he was riding it.
Weiser says she now no longer feels comfortable letting her son visit the park alone.
I'm just like a mom that's worried.
According to Weiser, other parents aren't letting their kids go to Spider Park alone either. Weiser says she feels sorry that her son can't feel safe while playing with his friends.
And it's also hard knowing that he has friends that their parents also aren't letting them play outside.
As a concerned mother, she says her worry isn't just for her own children.
What I'm worried about is that there's these kids that don't have enough guidance. They're getting into a routine and activities that can really hurt their lives and their opportunities going forward.
Weiser says she doesn't know what the answer to the problem is, but says more could be done by both police and the local community.
As community members, as parents, as driving by, making more of a presence.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Fargo police say their officers patrol Spider Park as well as others in the city.
They add they have not seen an increase in calls to this park, but if you see something suspicious, you should file a report.
Switching gears, take a look outside to your forecast where we have a chilly week ahead. In fact, it's already pretty cold out there today. First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson has the details. Hutch.
Oh, how quickly we've become accustomed to the cold air across the valley. As we look across the skies tonight, we're cloudy. The snow has stopped for now, but we have more on the way. And tomorrow, a First Alert Weather Day. Here's what we're worried about. For tomorrow, we're going to have snow. We're not going to have deep piles of snow. The amounts will be fairly light for most, but looks very gusty, and that's going to create tricky travel. So we're expecting a snowfall amount of anywhere from a trace to 4 inches or so of snow. 45-mile-per-hour gusts, though, will cause blowing, it will cause drifting, and it will be icy with some poor visibility at times. So it's right now snow. Showers are mainly focused in the eastern half of North Dakota, here and there, not all over the place. Radars had a tough time picking up snowflakes in central Minnesota because all of the radars are just too far away from central Minnesota to really even see them, but we have had flakes there as well. Now, in the Red River Valley, we're quiet for the most part, but there's a pretty good sized batch heading in the general direction of Fargo. At 26 miles per hour, I'll put it right near the I-94 corridor in Valley City here within the hour. And this blob that's here by Mayville and Findlay and Hope will be heading towards Fargo in over an hour. A little bit of light snow working its way through parts of southeast North Dakota. A trace to 2 inches of snow will be on the ground for the morning commute, and temperatures will actually be mildest overnight and in the first hours of your day tomorrow. So snow chances overnight. We'll talk about how much more we get on Thursday and look ahead here in just a few moments.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Hutch.
The man convicted of killing 6 people by driving through a Wisconsin Christmas parade last year was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences tonight. The sentencing came after Daryl Brooks talked for more than 2 hours about how his life has been impacted. The judge found that he did not drive through the parade because of mental illness. This news comes as the anniversary of the attack is less than a week away.
You left a path of destruction, chaos, death, injury, confusion, and panic as you drove 7 or so blocks through the Christmas parade, never once stopping or seemingly caring about the wake of carnage that you left.
Some victims say they'll never attend a parade again, while others plan to walk in this upcoming Christmas parade. A Litchville, North Dakota man will spend the rest of his life behind bars, convicted of sexually abusing a child for several years. Court documents say Jeremy Heinrich abused a girl from 2012 to 2018. His sentence does not include the possibility of parole.
A 51-year-old high-risk sex offender from Jamestown was arrested on suspicion of committing more sex crimes. Jamestown police say Zeffirino Rangel had been engaging in sexual acts with a minor over the age of 15 for 4 to 5 months. Giving the teen items in exchange for sex. He was arrested after a traffic stop recently. He's facing charges of patronizing a minor for commercial sex activity and corruption or solicitation of a minor. Police say they also found drug paraphernalia and a firearm in his home. An update now to a story we first told you about earlier this month. The shelf of amoxicillin at Sanford Hospital's pharmacy is now once again full. Pharmacists say just last week it was completely empty. There's a shortage of the drug nationwide, and there's no end in sight.
It comes very randomly, so it's not like we get it on daily shipments like we are normally used to doing.
Sanford says drug pharmacies everywhere are having this problem getting their hands on the powder form of the drug commonly used to help sick kids. The good news is there are alternatives to amoxicillin, and experts say they're just as effective and readily available, but you have to ask for them. New plans are in place for businesses that want to sell THC products in Moorhead.
This after city leaders approved an ordinance for commercial sales. Businesses have to pay a $750 licensing fee, which can be reviewed and updated every year. Samples are not allowed under the ordinance, and businesses that are already selling the products have 90 days to get with these new regulations. With the plan, liquor license holders and restaurants can sell THC, but not all council members were on board with that.
Either we have to tell restaurants that either you can't sell them or that you can only sell on the way out. You can't buy these products on the way in, because we don't want to have our waitstaff act like police.
Applications for businesses should be available this Friday.
There's a long, painful journey in life that most hopefully never have to go through. Ben Reiswig and Kathy Benjamin say they fought through addiction and transformed their lives. Both are former drug users. They say they've been in recovery for years, but their recovery isn't the end of that journey. A new chapter begins with the opening of their sober living homes. They're designed for women who are starting their journey from a dark problem to a brighter future.
Maybe 1 or 2 homeless shelters that I can think off the top of my head that are specifically for women, which because those are the only 2, they're almost always full.
Say a storm is coming and you have to tell them, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you right now. That sucks. That really sucks. And they have nowhere else to go. So where do you think they're going to go?
Achieve Recovery Homes say while they have already purchased 2 houses, they are having trouble getting enough furniture for them. So if you'd like to help, you can follow the link on this story on our website, valleynewslive.com, or the VNL News app. Reiswig and Benjamin aren't the only ones helping people turn their lives around. The F5 Project held a workforce and housing summit in Moorhead today. Their goal is to help felons connect with potential employers and rental companies to help line up jobs in homes. They also do virtual job fairs for some felons while they're still incarcerated. Founder Adam Martin says he's fueled by giving others the help he wished he had.
When I watched a person I went to court with and spoke on his behalf, and they pivoted and let him not go to prison. Yesterday was a year later. He's started a business, he's bought a house, he's gotten his kids back. The difference between that and me is I was happy when I got mine. I had joy when I watched him get his.
Martin adds their biggest problem right now is housing. He says employers have responded when they reached out, but he did not hear back from any of the property owners or developers he reached out to.
Following yesterday's big healthcare announcement, the Minnesota Attorney General's office has opened an investigation into the proposed merger between health giants Sanford and Fairview. A spokesperson for the office says, in part, they're evaluating to see any possible effects on competition in the area, along with state and federal partners. Sanford said yesterday the merger would help bring healthcare to their patients in rural areas. The drama continues after last week's midterm elections. East Grand Forks city leaders have tabled the voting results for Ward 2 after a mistake was found on ballots. People living in Ward 4 were also able to vote for Ward 2. The wording was accidentally on their ballots. The hope is to have it clarified by another meeting set for tomorrow afternoon.